our third year, Chapter 2, More Than Meets the Eye. You're only just started back at Edenbrook, and Baz has dropped a bomb on the diagnostics team. What do you mean you're leaving the team? I've decided to shift my focus to research. The studies into degenerative and autoimmune therapies they're starting here could be groundbreaking. It's the opportunity of a lifetime, particularly with all the upgrades. I mean, have you seen the...
Yes, we've all seen the research lab.
Ethan pinches the bridge of his nose, gathering himself.
Are you sure this is what you want? You're the best immunologist in the state.
It is. I want to always be challenging myself, always learning. I'll miss the team, but I can't let this opportunity pass me by. Besides, I'll still be here at Edenbrook if you want to say hi.
Then... I understand. Good luck, Baz.
The next morning, when you arrive, the diagnostics office feels notably subdued. Good morning, Casey. I miss him already. I guess I should break the ice. So... how's everyone doing? Harper perks up a bit, clearly grateful for the break in the silence. Quite well, all things considered. In all my years of medicine, I've never had a schedule that allows for a reasonable amount of sleep.
I'm surprised you could sleep at all after Baz's announcement.
Ethan...
Sorry. I know we're all sad he's gone. I should take it out on you. I shouldn't take it out on you, Harper.
You serendipitously lay a hand on Ethan's, squeezing it affectionately. He manages a brief, grateful smile. Hopefully the new patient I'm proposing we take on will help take our minds off of it. She slides case folders across the table to both of you, smiling, hopefully. You pick one of them up and begin to read. Let's see, fever, weakness, vomiting, spells, confusion, and... wait a minute, one of his symptoms is psychic abilities? I thought that might intrigue you.
Last time I checked, that's not a symptom. Mostly because psychic powers aren't real. Shouldn't they simply fall under fever-induced delirium?
I hear you, but he's fully lucid, and he does have a unique perspective or presentation. I really think this is worth the team's time. Ethan sighs, but his eyebrow raises almost imperceptibly as he do the corners of his lips.
Alright, I'm intrigued. Extremely skeptical, but intrigued. Walk us through. How has this illness convinced him he's psychic?
As you can see, the patient is Andrew Poloski, male, 21. Until last night, he initially wrote his symptoms off as the flu. He just got back to college after summer break and hadn't been getting enough sleep.
Of course. That strain of flu. I think you caught it the day after Rosalie's wedding, if I'm not mistaken.
That really was a flu. I had body aches, fever.
The morning after we just happened to drink all night. And the fact that it miraculously cured itself after a day off work.
What can I say? A day of rest can do marvelous things. You pick up the file again, starting to feel slightly left out of the conversation, and drifts away. What else do we know about the patient? Ethan and Harper both turn to you.
Thank you for refocusing us, Casey. What's relevant here is the patient. Harper, anything else we should know?
There is, though I'm not sure how helpful it'll be. Has he traveled internationally recently? If this isn't viral, a parasite could explain the symptoms. He's never been outside the country, unless you count accidentally crossing the Canadian border by fishing boat. He spent the summer working as a fishing guide in the Boundary Waters near his hometown in northern Minnesota, taking tourists out on the lake. You can still get parasites from the lake.
Drug use?
Nothing, not even marijuana. And before you ask, no history of mental health issues, and his powers only started last night.
If you're trying to imply that I think believing yourself to be psychic is delusional, you'd be right, I do.
How exactly are these powers presenting? I've never even heard of this as a symptom. Honestly, you kinda have to see it, which I guess means we should probably vote on the case.
Ethan rolls his eyes and sighs. Of course, I'd never forgotten the latest hoop Bloom asked us to jump through. I suppose I'm a yes, Casey.
Honestly, I'm way too curious to not take this. Excellent. Let's go meet him. The three of you enter the patient's room and Harbor introduces you. Meanwhile, a nurse prepares to take his temperature. If you can just hold this under your tongue for me. Sure thing. By the way, how are you feeling? Headache gone yet? What do you mean? The wild weekend you had? Seems like you really tore it up. Was a friend visiting from out of town or something? Wait, how did you know that? Is what he's saying really true? You can pick that up off a person's demeanor, how they're carrying themselves and whatnot. Sherlock Holmes did it, he wasn't psychic. I mean, yes, I had a friend come in from out of town. We did a pretty serious bar crawl. But that was 2 nights ago. I'd never go out like that if I were scheduled for the next day. See what I mean? Wow. I'm guessing there's a trick here. You must have let something slip earlier, or maybe he saw you out at the bar. I get it, it's pretty weird, but I swear, I've never seen her before. Besides, 2 nights ago, I was in bed sick. And I only got here a couple minutes before you guys. All I told him was my name. Sorry, I still don't buy it.
Sounds like a lucky guess to me.
The patient shrugs genially. Maybe so. Trust me, I'm just as weirded out as it by you. Can you try to explain us how you knew about the nurses' weekend? Did anything strange happen, or... Honestly, it just kind of comes to me, like words just pop into my head and I know they're true. Any other things come to you since you checked in? Anything at all that you can think of that might help us? So, like, these 2 being exes? Would that count? He points between Ethan and Harbor. That's... I swear to you, that did not come up in the initial consult. No, really.
You're just reading our impersonal dynamic.
You're probably right, but let me try again. You had a blueberry smoothie for breakfast, right? And a fish last night, something oily, like salmon.
That's... How did you...
You don't need to ask Ethan if it's true. The shock on his face has volumes. Harper makes eye contact with you both and nods towards the hallway outside. Oh, for the love of... So, what do you make of a blueberry smoothie?
Very funny. A brain tumor is the first thing that comes to mind.
It would explain all the symptoms. Well, almost all. But a lot of different things could, I think we need more tests.
Agreed. I'll schedule an MRI in the meantime, Casey. Start with blood panels, bacterial cultures, and do a talk screen for psychedelics or other hallucinogens. He could have lied about his drug use, among other things.
I think he believes he's telling the truth. I think he thinks he's got these powers, but that doesn't explain what they actually are.
There are no shortages of disorders that can cause delusions in patients.
Is it delusions if it's true and he's just being perceptive? True, but very few where the delusions actually seem to be accurate.
Fair. We need a medical explanation at the very least. It'll probably take a while to get this MRI through the backlog. Everyone treating the new equipment like rides at a carnival.
Casey, do you think you can handle the other tests without me? I have a surgery scheduled in an hour. Sure thing. Just tell the lab to page me when they're ready for a scan. Ethan and Harper nod and then walk off in different directions down the hall as you head back to Andrew's room. Andrew smiles woozily at you as you come in. Hey doctor, sorry, what was your name again?
Yep.
I'm Dr. Valentine. Oh, right. Anyway, sorry about that earlier. I keep learning stuff out, I swear. I usually have a filter, but I've been feeling a little, fuzzy lately. I'm trying not to say everything, though.
What, are you gonna start throwing, like, expletives at us?
Like, I don't talk about how you and Dr. Ramsey are a thing, or... Wait, what? Or that you aren't sure whether you can trust Dr. Emery? That's good that you didn't blurt that out. You take a deep breath, shocked at how this patient is reading your thoughts and secrets, sometimes thoughts you're not even fully admitted to yourself. Be great to observe more of this Billy in action. I have at least a half an hour before the scan.
Ask the psychic patient to read your friends to learn more about his condition and find some fun secret. Ask him to read your friends. Is it me or did she get thinner?
Would you be willing to read a few more people for me? It would mean leaving your room, but I think that would be useful. Sure. I'm game. It actually sounds kind of fun. I mean, I've never been psychic before, plus this place gets boring. You quickly take samples and hand them off to a nurse. Then help Andrew into a wheelchair, and the two of you set off into the hallway. You roll Andrew's wheelchair to the nurse's station, the desk surrounded by its usual buzz of activity. It's like you're on my, what's it called when your job is to drive other people around? You don't remember simple words like that? Chauffeur? Yeah, you're my chauffeur. Next time I'll see if I can get a more deluxe model vehicle. You spot Sienna at the nurse's desk. She waves hello and walks you over to the two of you. Casey, how's it going? Who's this? You introduce Andrew and explain the situation. Sienna claps her hands with excitement. Ooh, psych powers, do me, do me! Well, let's see, you baked last night a cake, I think? Did you tell him I'm a baker? I swear, this is all him. It's gonna be chocolate, but at the last minute you changed to hazelnut? What? I didn't even know I was gonna do that until I tasted the chocolate and realized it was stale. You were visiting sick kids earlier, probably going again after this. How? Casey, this is too weird. Do you think, I mean, it seems like he's really psychic. I think he should tell us something else. Ooh, yes, I want to know what the universe knows about me. You were crying last night, just before you went to bed. What? Sienna, what's wrong? Oh, no, it's nothing. I was just watching To Love Beyond Time. I always cry at the end when they say goodbye. So, 3 for 3? Yep, I can't believe it. We should probably keep moving. Thanks for playing, Sienna. Are you kidding? Thank you. That was the coolest thing that's happened to me in weeks. The two of you continue down the hall as you turn the corner. I think I've spotted our next target. You point out Zaid standing at one of Bloom's new patient terminals, scrolling through data. Andrew, you have to read this guide. Don't let him know you're doing it, okay? Stealth attack. I'm so there for it. The two of you roll up towards Zaid standing. Zaid, this is my patient Andrew, and this is Dr. Zaid Morani, one of the residents when I started. Zaid, Andrew's been experiencing a very curious symptom lately. Nice to meet you, Doc. Andrew puts his hand to his head, eyes widening theatrically. I'm getting something you've been feeling tense. Is this some kind of joke, Casey? We'll be doing tarot card in the lobby later. Are you always this defensive about woo-woo things? Like, say about the crystal healing? What? What did you say? You've been seeing a crystal healer, right? Is the sulfur helping? Dr. Morani, you've been seeing a crystal healer? Look, many folk medicinal practices have been proven to offer effective practical remedies. People were using willow bark to cure headaches for centuries before we synthesized aspirin. And besides, crystalline structures are so varied. That sounds, really interesting. No need to sound so condescending. No, it actually sounded interesting. I was just showing my interest. I'm not being condescending. Doctors shouldn't be quick to write off alternative medicines as far as I'm concerned. You, won't speak of this to any other doctors, I trust? Absolutely not. This is between the two of us. Well, 3 of us. Zaid fixes Andrew with a muted glare, but Andrew only smiles and winks in return. I'd like to know how the hell he knew about my activities. That's what I'm trying to figure out, actually. Any thoughts? Mostly that I absolutely want nothing further to do with any of this. Between this pseudoscience and the humiliation, I think I'm done with this case. Managed to keep a straight face until Zaid stalks off down the hall. Then both of you and Andrew burst into laughter. That was kind of fun. Anyone else you want me to read? No one on this floor, but there is one person I'd love to take you to. We've got Ethan. Ruff. Jackie, Bryce. Yeah, we'll scan Ethan a little bit more. You should do another read of Dr. Ramsey. Let's head to his office. You sure? That guy does not seem interested in whatever this power is. True, but that's why he's such a good subject. Anything you pick up might tell us more about what's going on. Whatever you say, Doc. Ethan looks up and frowns as you and Andrew arrive at his office.
Dr. Valentine, is everything alright?
Yep, everything's great. I just figured while we were waiting for Andrew's MRI, we could learn a bit more about his symptoms. To that end, mind taking part in a little experiment? Ethan sighs, massaging the bridge of his nose. He stands.
I don't think you need psychic powers to determine that. Oh, fine, proceed, but only because I agree that we need to determine what's going on here.
Alright, Andrew, tell me. What does Dr. Ramsey think about me? You mean besides that he'd be... what he'd be doing with you right now if the two of you were alone?
What?
Was I right? Ethan?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, in the slight more PG realm, he's about 10 times happier since you walked through the door.
I would really prefer if you stopped while I still have some dignity left.
Andrew falls quiet, grinning proudly. Ethan sighs, his cheeks just the faintest shade of red as he glances at you.
While I won't dispute the accuracy of that prediction,
Even though he already knew Ethan really liked us and vice versa.
you could have gotten that from following my eyes and body language.
I don't know, that bit about throwing me on the desk seemed highly specific. Wait. What? When the hell did that come up?
Be it as it may, it would help to test further with more concrete questions. Mr. Poloski, tell me my favorite place to vacation.
For the first time, Andrew hesitates. New York?
Try again.
Maybe Las Vegas? It's because Ethan doesn't put anything to show off any sign of anything in his office.
Definitely not.
I don't know. I'm not getting anything. That's strange. You were getting something for all the other readings. In fact, you nailed them all.
Interesting. So this ability, whatever it might be, can be used at will. That might narrow down the possibilities.
So, what was your favorite vacation spot?
Nice try. I may not use pictogram much, but I know better than to give away my best-kept secret and invite the crowds in. In any event, that's enough with this experiment. You'd better head to your scan.
As you turn Andrew's wheelchair around, you notice Ethan's gaze follows him, eyebrows and lips arched in interest. You're leading Andrew back to his room when your pager buzzes. Looks like your MRI is ready, Andrew. How are you feeling? Honestly, a bit weird, like I'm having trouble keeping track of things. So you're feeling confused. Is that new? I think so. I can't remember exactly. He's starting to slur his speech. Soon, you arrive in radiology lab while the technician preps the machine. You bend down and look Andrew in the eye, hoping he'll be able to focus. Andrew, all those readings we did, was there anything you noticed about how you knew what was going on when you got it right? Or was it, what was different between those times and the time you got it wrong? Yes, the times is right. I can smell people.
Ah, look at that, I was right.
That doesn't make sense. Smell it? What? What if he means it literally? The technician tells you it's time to start Andrew's scan, and you head off alone, mind worrying with possibilities. Not hard to smell sulfur or cake. An hour later, you close another medical journal with a sigh. You're about to crack the next twin.
Any update on Mr. Poloski?
So far, everything's turned up negative. Nothing out of the ordinary on the brain scan. No hits on the blood test. As far as I can tell, we're exactly where we were when we arrived. He has the flu and psychic powers. And those powers are... might have nothing to do with the other symptoms. We've been assuming that his powers are related to other symptoms, but what if it's just a coincidence?
You're thinking multiple conditions?
It's a possibility. A single cause is always likelier, but he's the right age for certain mental disorders to start cropping up. Or the powers might be a symptom of anything. Could be just a good cold reader having a little fun at our expense.
True. Raises further questions. If there are multiple conditions, which symptoms pair with each other?
No clue, and for now, I'm still hoping to find a single diagnosis. It almost always is the likelier explanation.
Ethan gestures at the spread of medical journals on the table. You must have some sort of hunch. What are you researching?
When I dropped him off the MRI, he said he could smell it on people. He probably meant it as a metaphor, but...
yeah, sure, we'll go with that. Interesting. You're thinking you might be experiencing, hypersonomia?
I thought it was a possibility, but the scans didn't show any sign of tumor, and the other likely explanation for the hyper-acute sense of smell is...
pregnancy, yes. I think we're safe to rule that out. Still, it's wise to look in the, hypersonomia. Let me know if you, No, mind if I come for a chat? Mr. Bloom, is there something I can help you with?
I hope so. I heard that Dr. Morani has opted to leave the team.
You see the suspicion flash in Ethan's eyes, but he keeps his voice steady. Just last night, I'm surprised you were aware of it so quickly. My understanding that he's only just reached this decision.
True, but a doctor as valuable as Paz Morani is someone worth keeping track of. Besides, it's my hospital now. Knowing about staff movements is part of my job. Yes, well... I'm guessing you didn't come to chat. We're a little busy with the case right now, so if you have something to tell us... Cutting straight to the point, I like it. I'm concerned about the current state of the team.
Could you be more specific?
The team is traditionally operated with 4 doctors. Dr. Morani's departures left you short-staffed, which is a problem. And you think the problem is going to interfere with us doing our job. It's been my observation that the team works best when there are multiple different voices in the room. Yeah, because 3 isn't enough.
Yes, well, I couldn't force him to stay.
Of course not, but you can start looking for his replacement. Are we authorized to do that? I'd prefer to. Luckily, the upgrades here have drawn some positive attention. I hope the piles of resumes from top candidates hoping for a spot.
Let me guess, you want to put one of them in particular on the team?
No, I'd rather leave that up to you. I have no idea what makes a good diagnostician, though of course I will ask that you move quickly.
Oh, well, I suppose that's reasonable.
Excellent. In that case, should I arrange for some interviews this afternoon?
That would work, yes.
Perfect. I'll send along the details shortly. He sweeps out of the office, a smile on his face.
That went better than expected. I'll admit I assumed he'd force his choice down our throats.
No, he's giving you the illusion of choice, kind of like this book. Maybe he really will stay out of the important things.
I suppose I should get ready for those interviews. Would you join me? I'd ask Harper as well, but her surgery hasn't finished yet. Bloom and I may not agree on much, but he's right about one thing: another brain in the room can only help. Besides, I've barely seen you today, and selfishly I'd like to remedy that, even if we are forced to focus on a task at hand.
Join Ethan on a search for the next member of the diagnostics team. Interview new candidates together. Oh my god, we're going to a coffee shop.
Yes! Perfect. I'll tell Bloom to send the candidates to the coffee shop around the corner.
Half an hour later, a young man approaches the two of you at a table. Yo, is this where the interviews are happening? No, this is where you go literally no. You and Ethan share a surprised glance and shuffle through the resumes in front of you.
Dr. Milton, I assume?
Call me Kenny, man. I'm not about, like, labels and titles. You know what I mean?
Sweet Jesus.
Ethan leans over to hiss in your ear.
Is this some sort of joke?
Dr. Milton... Is that a fidget spinner? What's with the unusual outfit? I don't feel like professional clothing really conveys who we are, you know? What's the point of clothes, anyway? Just get in the way, you know?
What are you planning on practicing medicine nude? I'm sorry, are you advocating for a nudist practice in a hospital?
No, not anymore. Turns out it can be a hazard to get that close to surgery naked.
Oh. And no, this is seriously how some of you are. Seriously. The people out in this world is what I really mean, but you know.
So when do I start?
We'll be in touch.
After I work at the Mayo Clinic, I worked at all the top research hospitals in the country. I assisted with such luminaries as... all I asked was how many years of human practice.
Dr. Bouchard, while I respect your work history, it's not what concerns me most.
Really? It should. You have a unique opportunity to work with one of the most leading experts in the field of immunology.
I'm more interested in how you handle cases themselves, and how you handle failure.
Oh, that's easy. I simply don't allow failure as part of my practice. Yep. Are you saying you've never lost a patient? Of course I've lost patients, but really, I don't consider that a reflection on me. More on my colleagues, and the patient's own failure of observation, of course.
Stunned. Really, we're stunned. You lean over to Ethan and whisper in his ear.
Ethan, is this guy for real? I can't believe someone this arrogant has managed to have a medical career.
You'd be surprised. He's got skills impressive enough to make most people put up with him. I, however, am not most people.
Excuse me, what are you two whispering about? Could we get back to talking about me?
Dr. Bouchard, this team is all about failing towards success. Getting it wrong until you come to the solution.
Then I'm sure my track record will be a welcome addition. I look forward to the offer.
Right. Illusion of choice, I'm telling you right now.
Thank you so much for making time to speak with me. I've heard so many good things about Edenbrook.
Such as?
Well, of course the whole city is buzzing about your new research mandate. But the diagnostics team reputation predates all the fancy upgrades, so I'd love to be a part of it.
Says in your brief that you're an immunology specialist.
That's Baz's specialty. Exactly what we're missing right now. That's right. I find the way the body reacts to itself infinitely fascinating.
I agree. Casey, do you have any questions?
Tell me, Dr. Wait now. Why are you best fit for this position? I'm one of the most methodical doctors in my field, which is something you need both in neurology and on this sort of team. But what makes you right for diagnostics? Beyond the fact that you're lacking an immunologist right now, I specialize in unique diagnostic methods, and I'm always reading up on new techniques.
Well, that was as vague as possible.
There may be other excellent candidates, but I doubt you'll find any as perfectly suited to what you need as I am. It looks like she did her research on us, too. No, it looks like she did her research on interviews. She's selling herself to you. Ethan, any other questions?
No, I'm satisfied. Thank you for your time, Dr. Aquino.
I certainly hope I'll be hearing from you. But the interview's over. You and Ethan grab a pastry and a coffee and sit down to debrief. So, what do you think?
I think I have several questions about where Bloom found the first two applicants.
They were rather unique, weren't they?
How diplomatic of you.
Ethan takes a thoughtful sip of his coffee.
Tell me honestly, what did you think about Dr. Aquino?
Well, she's by far the best candidate so far. Not that she had particularly stiff competition.
Would you recommend hiring her?
That's up to you, Ethan. I'm just here to bounce ideas off of. You're the one who has the final say.
True. I value your opinion, though.
In that case, I think she's clearly qualified, and I think her specialty would complement the knowledge the rest of the team, or the rest of us, to bring to the team. The two of you remain silent for a while, staring out of the window.
She was a strong candidate. If you agree she'd fit into the team well, that's the best recommendation I can hope for.
I do. So, does that mean we have a new team member?
I still have to run a few more interviews. Ones that haven't been spoon-fed to us by Bloom. I don't want to feel like we're rushing into this such an important decision. But ultimately, I think she's the right fit, yes. Thank you for being here with me, Casey. After all the upheaval, it's nice to have someone you trust to help keep your instincts against.
Don't worry. You can owe me one.
If it means I have to excuse a little alone time with you, I'll gladly be in your debt.
I'm not sure this quite counts as a loan, but accept your terms. You lean across the table to lay a gentle kiss on his lips before standing up to leave.
At least this is one place Bloom's changes couldn't touch.
A brisk, fall breeze blows across your skin, and Ethan pulls you close for one last kiss before the two of you head into the hospital, hand in hand. The next day, you're doing your rounds when your pager buzzes with a message from Jackie. Doctor's Lounge, stat.
Oh, no, the coffee maker might be broke.
That's dramatic. Intrigued, you make your way to the lounge. You arrive to find Bryce, Aurora, Sienna, and Raph already seated around a table with fancy drinks and snacks in hand. Looks like we all got the same Sienna, is that a lollipop stuck into your chest? Oh, thank God someone else noticed. I didn't want to say anything. Sorry about that. I was just spending my lunch hour in the pets ward. Again, when you met my psychic yesterday, you were visiting too, right? I like cheering the kids up. I like her. You're there a lot lately. I'd like to join you. Me too. I love working with kids. They're so much more optimistic. I'd love the company. You two could join me later this week if you're free. Let's make it happen. Bryce, Arar, you in? That's a definite no. No offense.
Honestly, after the year with Kiki, I'm enjoying the adult time, but maybe someday.
Hey all, sorry I'm late. Anyone know what this is about? No idea. Jackie hasn't... Just waiting to make my big entrance. I deserve one. After all, you're looking at reading Edenbrook's new chief resident. What? Jackie, congratulations! I can't believe it!
Tackle hugs Jackie, almost taking her to the ground.
Ugh, careful, I'm gonna need my hands to do the job.
That's fantastic, Jackie.
Congratulations.
Just remember, you have absolutely no authority over the surgical team.
Best part of the gig? Scalpel jockey. I'm sorry, is this supposed to be good news? You do realize how many interns you'll be overseeing, right? And how much extra work that means? Actually, and trust me, I'm as surprised as anyone else by this. I really missed having an intern to help guide this year. Now I get to watch over the entire crew. I know it'll be hard, but I'm actually really looking forward to it. Congratulations, Jackie. It's a huge honor and you deserve it. Couldn't agree more. Frankly, I'm more just as surprised it took people this long to realize. Realize what? Realize what exactly?
And there's the Jackie we know and love. This calls for a celebration.
Way ahead of you, Haley. I checked and none of us are on earlies tomorrow. With the lower caseload, we should all be able to get out at a reasonable time tonight. So, what do you say we throw an absolute rager to celebrate? Oh, wow. Yes, it's been so long since we had a party. No kidding, huh? It'll be nice to get back in the house party saddle again. I'll call my Vovo. She'd be thrilled to whip up some snacks this afternoon. Well, if you think it's worth celebrating, I'm not gonna argue with you. How about you, Casey? You in?
Throw a party with your friends to celebrate Jackie's new role.
Let's party! Excellent. Everyone work hard, because as soon as this shift's over, I'm gonna expect some serious playtime.
Listen, we're not doing the 3 thing again, okay?
You're still researching late in the day when there's a knock at the office door. Your friends are gathered outside. Hey, Casey, ready to head out? Jackie's already left to get the place ready. Right, party, sorry. I've really been in the zone here. Tough case, huh? Very, but we're testing everything we can. Honestly, I need a break from it so I can come back with fresh eyes. That's the spirit. A brain reset is what you need. Here, let's go grab a keg or two of liquid brain reset now, shall we? By the time you make it back to the apartment, the last of your worries have melted away. The living room is packed to the gills with familiar and unfamiliar faces. Whoa, Jackie, did you invite the entire hospital? Also, when did you throw that outfit on? Of course not. Just the cool people. When did you even have time to set this up? Who cares? Party! I'm gonna go make sure he doesn't break anything. Sienna, Elijah, Raph, and Bryce throw themselves into the mingling while Jackie grins at Aurora. Now, Aurora, the moment of truth has arrived. Oh dear God. You're not still trying to trap me into that, are you? Trap you into what? She has some weird shot she's been bugging me to try. A cement mixer? What's weird about it? Bailey's and lime juice. What could be nicer? Come on, Aurora. I'll do the shot with you. Great. Now you're enabling her. Come on, one shot and she'll be happy. We can do it together. Fine, but if I puke, you're cleaning it up. Jackie provides you each with 2 prepared shots, smiling widely. Now remember, drink the Baileys, but don't swallow. Then take the lime juice. This is so stupid. You follow her instructions and... I'm not doing that sound. The drink mixes and curdles in your mouth. Oh God. Oh, what is happening on my tongue? Jackie cackles and slaps her knees in hilarity. Man, I wish I'd been filming that. Thanks, guys. That was the best promotion present ever. Glad we could entertain you. Now, if you excuse me, I need to get another drink to wash this out of my mouth. Grab me one too. Or 10. A few drinks later, and the party's in full swing, pumping music, dancing bodies, filling the room. You spot Elijah playing video games with a group in the corner and head over. Hey, Dr. Valentine. He waves a little awkwardly. Sothy, how are you doing? I haven't seen you in, well, forever. Just, busy? I thought I'd invite him around to catch up, you know, now that he's not an intern anymore. I think that sounds great. So what are you two playing? Actually, we were just about to switch games. Join us, Casey. I'll even let you pick what we play. Let's play a fighting game. Excellent choice. Let me fire it up and we can pick our characters. Colorful and cartoony array of bizarre martial arts figures appears on the screen. Choose your fighter, and then battle till last weirdo standing. Last weirdo. I will smack you. Elijah picks Sword McDude, while Sothy selects a menacing dinosaur and a fedora. You select a wily-looking octopus. Of course, women pick things with tentacles. If only you knew. Maybe you do. Get ready to lose 8 times as fast. Other partygoers start gathering around to watch. Alright, and fight! The battle begins, and immediately you find your 8 arms hard to control. Wait, how do you move the front one? Just try different combinations. Did I just knock out my own guy with the ring? I mean, I'd take the credit, but... Okay, I demand a rematch. Oh, then you'll have to go up against me, because boom! Oh, what the hell? Laugh as Sothy raises his arms in a miniature victory dance. After a few rounds, you let someone else take your place. You spot Sienna in the far corner of the living room and hear her. And I will never be alone again! Oh, God help us. She spots you and waves you over, grinning wildly. Casey, sing karaoke with me! No, God. Where did Jackie get a karaoke machine anyway? Who cares? Karaoke's my favorite, and it's so much better with a friend. Please, you can pick the song. How can I say no to that offer? Can we sing a pop hit? Yay, that's exactly what I was hoping you'd say.
Dana cues up a song and a familiar music starts playing.
I've been waiting in the corner watching you dancing. Oh, your moves, babe, got me in a trance. Feeling it down, man, my body, my soul, loving you whole.
I'm not in the mood for this shit.
Come out on the roof and dance.
Soon half the room is swinging along to the song. When you and Sienna finish, they all clap and you take a bow.
Hey everybody, pizza's here.
The crowd whoops in approval as several partygoers carry the pizza boxes into your kitchen. You smile looking around the room as all your friends are having fun, but there's one person you'd like alone time with. Because we're not allowed to have Ethan. Seriously, why was he not invited?
Bob Bryce chatting with a few other surgical residents near the makeshift bar, and you head over.
Casey, just who I was hoping to see. These guys absolutely refuse to recognize my bartending genius.
Oh yeah, what were you making?
A La Haley special. Here, I'll make you one.
As you watch as Bryce cracks a beer, pouring into a red plastic cup with a flourish. Oh, just a beer then.
Yeah, but did you see how I poured it? So much flair. God, can I go back to selection?
Laughing, you take the drink he offers you as the other residents head over to grab a slice of pizza.
Great party, only because the quality of bartenders.
It'd only be better if you... No. We toast to Jackie. It is her night, after all.
Much as I hate to admit it, you're right.
Bryce scraps a beer bottle and clicks it inside of the opener until he gets the room's attention and tilts his head to you.
Take it away, Casey.
Alright, I just wanted to say to Jackie, we couldn't have a better chief resident. To Jackie! The crowd cheers and drinks. The party gains new energy. The party keeps raging until the wee hours of the morning, the apartment thumping with music, laughter, and cheers. The next morning, you barely made it to the hospital before your pager starts blaring. Oh no, Andrew's seizing.
You rush into Andrew's room, just as a nurse is removing his mouth guard and putting on an oxygen mask.
He's just coming out of it. Andrew, are you with us?
He squints tightly as though the light is hurting him.
I'm Dr. Valentine, Andrew. Do you know where you are?
Where? Take the boat out.
You're in the hospital, Andrew. We're gonna take good care of you. His head lolls and he dozes. Exhausted, you exchange worried looks with the nurse. Tell me, what was going on just before the seizure? Was he watching any television? Were there any flashing lights? No, nothing like that. We were just talking about his summer job. He said his neck was bothering him, so I went to adjust his pillow. But before I even managed, he started seizing. That doesn't tell us much.
Oh, Mom, I did my homework already.
I want another scan. Maybe it will give us a clue to what's going on here. I'll order right now.
She wheels Andrew out of the room. She pour over his chart again.
Hang in there, Andrew.
Half an hour later, you're going over the second scan's results with Harper and Ethan.
Encephaliosis? How could we have missed a brain this swollen? There was no trace of it on the first scan. Something has changed or progressed.
We need to identify what's causing it. Thoughts, Casey?
What about an unknown infection? A tumor is just as likely to cause an encephalitis or an STD for that matter.
True. but a scan would have caught the tumor, and we checked for all the usual STDs on the blood and urine panels. I think Casey's right, it's likely an infection, which leaves us with near infinite options. Until we know what's causing the encephalitis, any focused treatments will be useless at best, harmful at worst.
Then I guess I'll start him on a course of IV fluids, anti-seizure meds, and close monitoring of the brain swelling. I'll brief the surgical team in case it comes to that. Ethan Knoll's obviously frustrated not to have an answer.
Until we learn more, it's the best we can do for him.
At least there's some good news, right, Ethan? Ethan told me the interviews went well. They did. I know Ethan doesn't want to rush the actual hiring, but we found a really excellent candidate.
Casey helped me see that she's the best fit, for the right fit, and thank God for that. I won't rush an offer, it's a big decision for that, but within a few weeks, we should be back to full strength on the team. Though, of course, that won't help us now.
Heavy-hearted, you head out to do what you can for your patient. Man, it'd be weird if, almost like we can go down to Baz, who's in the research field, where he said, "Hey, feel free to stop by, say hi." After setting Andrew up on his treatments, you head to the doctor's lounge. Maybe some caffeine and a change of scenery will give me a new perspective on the case. You're deep into research when a crash startles you out of your book. When you turn around, you're surprised to see Elijah at the cappuccino machine, Aurora rolling her eyes next to him. "Oh, hi Casey. Didn't mean to pull you out of your zone."
"I will kill you."
"Elijah, Aurora, what was that noise? Please tell me you didn't break the cappuccino machine."
"I will kill you."
"Thankfully, no, though he did manage to scatter coffee grounds all over the floor."
"Oh my God, it's a fate worse than death."
"In my defense, how am I supposed to know you clicked this thing to the left to lock it? The phrase is righty-tighty." So long as no one and no precious caffeinating machinery was permanently injured.
"There's coffee on the ground! It's dead!"
I'm guessing the case is still stumping you? Totally. There's something nagging at me, but I can't put my fingers on it. If I could just focus. I hear your peace and quiet is short supply at the hospital. Especially when I decide to get creating with my coffee making. Didn't you say your patient worked as a fishing guide? Yep, in the Boundary Waters. If only I could find a place like that right now, then maybe I'd be able to clear my head. Maybe we can petition Bloom to add on some idyllic woodlands as a phase 2 of the hospital overhaul. What? And camping trips to help you focus, or just part of the new benefits structure? I mean, considering all the other upgrades and the new work-life balance initiatives, I wouldn't cut it out. Okay, but camping is definitely not a perk. How could anyone focus between stepping on the ground and avoiding all the bugs and creepy crawly things like live in the woods?
Go to the woods, you'll find out quickly.
Suddenly, it hits you. Bugs. Woods. I think I might know what it is.
I'm gonna throw something. And she's supposed to be a doctor.
It's Powassan virus. I did a lumbar puncture to confirm and the results came back positive. Powassan? That's tick-borne, isn't it? But it's so rare. It's more common in the Great Lakes region, and I'm guessing Andrew picked it up over the summer, and his symptoms didn't develop until he made it back to school. So this virus gives people psychic powers? Actually, I think I figured out how that happened. I looked at your first MRI again, and you were showing early signs of encephalitis, but it was still very localized. The only place that was swelling at that point was the area around the olfactory nerve.
Causing the hyperosmia, of course.
Your psychic powers were actually a hyperacute sense of smell. You were picking up scents and pheromones that no one else could detect. Can you cure me? There's no specific antiviral for Powassan, but the good news is you're already on the right course of treatment. With careful monitoring and IV fluids, the encephalitis should clear up, and your body will clear the virus shortly thereafter. You will have to give up your fortune teller dream. Oh, damn. I was planning a hotline and everything. Sadly, you can't smell people over a phone line, so there goes that plan. Oh, you're right. Back to the fishing guide life for me, I guess. Hey, there are way worse jobs than spending every day fishing in the boundary waters.
Very impressive work, Casey.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Dr. Valentine. Next time you need a fishing guide, I'm your man. He smiled, turned to go place the order for his next round of treatment.
Want to see Leland Bloom leaning against the door?
Sounds like I missed a fascinating case. What was your, was this your doing, Dr. Valentine? It was a group effort. I never could have gotten to the solution without Dr. Emery and Dr. Ramsey's help. Harper smiles warmly, and you see the hint of a smile on the corner of Ethan's lips. I'm sure you sell yourselves short. Your colleagues are lucky to have you. Aren't you going to introduce me? Andrew, this is Leland Bloom. He's the hospital's chief underwriter. In a way, you have him to thank for the care you received here. Oh, I don't know about that, but I'm glad we could help. Feel better? Oh, thank you. Anyway, I'll leave you to it all again when done. He sweeps out, all smiles and cheer.
We should probably let our patient rest.
You all head for the door when the patient stops you. Dr. Valentine, do you have a second? Of course. What's going on? I know they're not visions, exactly, but I thought you should know I just had one about that guy, the one who just left. Leland Bloom? In all, its face turning somber. I'm not exactly sure, but you should be careful around him. He may act like he's on your side, but he's not, and I'm sure of it.
This psychic patient gave us advice that we already knew. Will your patient's vision about Bloom prove to be true? Keep playing to find out.
Whatever. Thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Add down description below links to social media, Discord, and if you'd like to support me and my content. Without further ado, once again, thank you all well-wishers and whatnot for your support over the past week or whatnot. It's been a bit tough. But once again, thank you, and it's very much appreciated. I will be streaming probably later this evening on Twitch. Feel free to come tune into that. Otherwise, you can check VODs. Like yesterday, I did a short little stream, and that's usually where I stream, at least for now. I don't know, it's kind of up in the air about a lot of things. Thanks for watching. Catch you all later. Peace.